Stop right here. Whatever you are doing right now, put it down completely and give me your full attention. Because what I'm about to share with you is something that the most confusing and frustrating season of your life has been waiting for you to finally understand. You were guided to this message today, not by accident, not by coincidence, by something far deeper than either of those things. And before this is over, you are going to look at every closed door in your life with completely different eyes than the ones you have been using up until this moment. You have been standing in front of closed doors. Not one, not two, but a series of them. Doors you knocked on with everything you had. Doors you prayed over, believed for, prepared yourself for, positioned yourself in front of with genuine faith and genuine effort and genuine expectation that this time, this opportunity, this season was finally going to be the one that opened and stayed open long enough for you to walk through into everything you had been working toward. And one by one, they closed. Some of them closed quietly, a slow fade where the opportunity just never materialized the way it promised to. Some of them closed loudly, a sudden rejection, a relationship ending without warning, a plan collapsing at the exact moment it should have been coming together. And some of them closed in the most painful way possible. They opened just enough for you to see what was on the other side, just enough for your hope to rise and your heart to lean in, and then they shut completely, leaving you standing there with the image of what could have been burned into your memory and no explanation for why it was taken away. And somewhere in the middle of all of that closing, you began to wonder if the doors were closing because something was fundamentally wrong with you, if you were being passed over, if you were being punished, if the life you were believing for was simply not meant for someone like you. Before we go any further, I need you to do 3 things right now, and I need you to understand why each one matters. Like this video because this message is going to reach someone today through your simple click who is standing in front of a closed door about to give up, and your like could be the reason they find it in time. Subscribe to this channel because what is coming in your next season is going to require consistent truth spoken into your life, and every single message on this channel was created to walk you through exactly that. And drop a comment right now with the word open, because that one word is a declaration that you are still believing, still standing, still expecting the door that was always meant for you to finally swing wide. Now, here's the truth that is going to reframe everything. God has been closing those doors. Not life, not bad luck, not some cosmic misalignment between your effort and your outcome. God, deliberately, intentionally, with a purpose so specific and so personal that if you could see the full picture right now, you would not grieve a single closed door. You would thank Him for every one of them. Because here is what a closed door actually is when it is in the hands of God. It is not rejection, it is redirection. It is not punishment, it is protection. It is not evidence that you asked for too much or believed for something beyond your reach. It is evidence that what you were reaching for was not the right thing, even when it looked exactly like the right thing from where you were standing. You cannot always see what is behind a door before it opens, and sometimes what looks like the perfect opportunity from the outside is something that would have cost you far more than it gave you if you had actually walked through it. Sometimes the relationship that felt like the answer was the very thing that would have derailed the plan. Sometimes the job that felt like the breakthrough was a detour disguised as a destination. Sometimes the door that felt like it was meant for you was simply a test of whether you trusted the one holding the blueprint more than your own assessment of which direction to go. Every door God closes is a door He looked behind and decided you could not afford what was on the other side. That is not cruelty. That is a father protecting a child from a path that looks safe but leads somewhere dangerous. And the fact that you could not see the danger doesn't mean it wasn't there. It means you were being guided by someone with a view of the road that goes far beyond what your current position allows you to see. Let me show you the door you have not tried yet, because this is the part that is going to ignite something in your spirit. It is not a door you found on your own timeline. It is a door that is being prepared on God's timeline. And those two timelines do not always run at the same speed, which is why the waiting has felt so long and so confusing and full of moments where giving up seemed like the most rational response to the evidence in front of you. But here is what is true about this door that is different from every door that closed before it. It was built specifically for you, not for a version of you that existed 2 years ago, not for the you that existed before the closed doors shaped you into someone deeper and stronger and more capable of handling what is on the other side. For this version of you, the one that was formed in the waiting, the one that developed discernment through disappointment, the one that learned through every closed door what it was actually looking for and what it could not afford to settle for. Every closed door was preparing you to recognize this one when it appears. Every rejection was calibrating your vision so that when the right thing finally arrives, you will not mistake it for something ordinary. Every painful closing was building in you the exact capacity required to steward what is waiting behind the door that has not yet been tried. Drop a comment right now and tell me what door in your life closed that broke your heart at the time, because I want you to look at it today through new eyes, and I want this community to stand with you in the understanding that it closed for a reason. Now, I need to address something that has been quietly draining your energy throughout this season of closed doors, and it needs to be confronted directly today. You have been going back to doors that already closed, not physically, but in your mind, in your prayers, in the quiet hours when the weight of the waiting becomes too heavy and the temptation to return to what was familiar, even though it did not work, becomes almost impossible to resist. You have been revisiting closed doors, knocking again in your heart, wondering if maybe you gave up too soon, if maybe you should try one more time, if maybe the door that closed was a mistake that could be corrected if you approached it differently. I need you to hear this clearly today. When God closes a door, He closes it completely, not partially, not temporarily while you figure out the right approach, not as a test to see if you will fight hard enough to force it back open. When He closes it, the closing is final, and it is final because what was behind it was not for you, and no amount of returning to it is going to change what was behind it. Every moment you spend standing at a closed door is a moment you are not moving toward the open one. Every ounce of energy you pour into trying to resurrect what God deliberately ended is energy taken directly away from the momentum that is trying to carry you toward what was always meant for you. Stop going back. Stop knocking on what has already been closed. Turn around and start moving, because the door you have not tried yet is not behind you. It is ahead of you, and it has been waiting for you to stop looking backward long enough to see it. Here is what I need you to understand about the door that is coming, and this is the part I need you to hold on to through every remaining moment of the waiting. It is going to open in a way you did not plan for, not through the channel you have been focused on, not through the connection you have been cultivating, not through the strategy you have been executing, or the timeline you have been working toward. It is going to come from a direction you were not watching, through a conversation you did not expect to matter, through an ordinary moment that does not look like a divine appointment until you are standing on the other side of it looking back. This is why you cannot afford to stop moving. This is why you cannot afford to shut down in the waiting. This is why every day between now and the opening of the right door matters, because the door is not going to announce itself in advance. It is going to appear in the middle of your movement, and if you are standing still, if you have retreated into the paralysis of disappointment and closed yourself off from new directions, you will not be in position to recognize it when it comes.
Keep moving, keep believing, keep showing up, keep putting one foot in front of the other even when the path is not yet clear. Because the door that was always meant for you does not open to someone who stopped moving toward it. It opens to someone who kept walking even when every previous door had closed and the next one was not yet visible. Drop a comment below right now with the words, "I am still walking," because that declaration matters. It tells your spirit that you have not given up. It tells heaven that you are still in motion. And it tells everyone in this community who is reading these comments that they are not alone in the waiting. Let us pray. Father, I come before you on behalf of every person standing in front of closed doors, wondering if the life they were believing for is still possible. Every person who has knocked and received no answer, believed and seen no evidence, hoped and watched that hope deferred until the weight of it became almost more than they could carry. I thank you that every door you closed was closed in love, that every rejection was redirection, that every ending was protection from something that looked like the answer but would have cost them what they could not afford to lose. I thank you that the door they have not tried yet is real, that it exists, that it has your name on it, and that it is being prepared with a precision and a care that matches every single thing you built them to carry. I declare over every person receiving this word that the discouragement of closed doors is lifting right now, that the faith that was weakened by repeated disappointment is being restored to its full strength, that the eyes that were fixed on what closed are being turned toward what is opening. The momentum that was lost in the waiting is being returned with interest. The right door is coming. It was always coming, and everything that closed before it was simply making sure that when it opens, you will be exactly the person you need to be to walk through it and never look back. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. God has been closing doors because something greater is waiting behind one you have not tried yet. Not because you are not enough, not because you asked for too much, not because the life you were believing for was never meant for you, but because the one who holds every door in his hand looked behind the ones that closed and decided you deserved better than what was on the other side. Trust the closed doors. They were never your enemy. They were always your protection. And the door that was always meant for you is still ahead, still real, still carrying everything that was promised over your life before you took your first breath. Keep walking toward it. It is closer than you think. Like this video if today the closed doors finally make sense. Share it with someone still standing in front of one, wondering why it will not open. And keep your eyes forward, because what is ahead is worth every door that had to close to get you there. The right door is coming, and when it opens, nothing will ever be able to close it again.